From the guy who said, draw them out, I call them north and south. I got 2 poles for him if they step in my field.
Breeze of the east, like 1,000 chapters I ain't easy to read, but I'm well worth knowing if you want to be one of the world's whilst I'm on the team.
The man, the legend, Connor Quest.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
All right, I kind of asked this already, but do you want to tell us about your performance? You know, what songs you did today, the VIP?
Yeah, so we literally just got out of the VIP. Really good show. Really good show. I did Hit My Peak with the Mambi Hislar. He killed it. Got Maguire on for Morningstar. A little mix of Radio Star as well. The Alistair and Lucifer song. Kicked it off with Toji, which is a really good, like, energetic start.
Yes,
and then ended it with Plastic VTuber Girls.
Yes. Okay, that's a legendary one.
Yeah, had Stargirl
guys have
and
to
Dan
check
Dahlia
that.
feature with me on that one.
Yeah. That was like the song for me, at least that like hit my radar.
Yeah.
Right? Like I was just on YouTube one day, I'm like, what is this? And then I don't think I knew what nerdcore was completely at that time.
It's funny because it's not like a nerdcore song really, but it is at the same time. Like not in the traditional sense, but I think it did have like quite a wide appeal, so it attracted a lot.
How did you?
In the VTuber community?
Sorry, I'm interrupting. How did you come up with that idea? Because it takes a lot to coordinate, you know, all of those people and the video
I mean,
and all that. That was like huge.
I mean, the regular video did really well.
That's
And then I wanted to like, it got really good response from the VTuber community.
Yeah.
And it was basically a sense of like, I wanted to give back in a way to like having that love and like respect from the community. So I was like, what can I do for that? And I was like, put them all in a video, like put them all in a big song.
Yeah. Like
it took a lot. Like I got 52, 53 overall VTubers in that video. I messaged like 100. Like 111. And it's like if I did it now, I would probably even be able to get like more because like this was like 2 years ago now even, or like maybe a year and a half ago. And I've met more people since then. And like I would definitely like to do some sort of sequel to like try and get that,
I think
that going again. But yeah, I just wanted to sort of give back because the VTuber community kind of welcomed me very with open arms. So I wanted to be able to like broadcast it, not just by making a song, but also having actual VTubers be a part of it. And it was the second biggest VTuber collab that year.
that's
Technically, if you want to call it a VTuber collab, it was the second biggest one.
That's so
I'm going to
insane
call
too.
it that because it's a cool title.
yeah. Because you released that, was it 3 years ago at this point?
The first song was 3 years ago, and then a year later I did the music video.
Yeah. So the fact that, because back then I think you were a bit smaller too, and
Yeah.
and I think it like propelled you at least in a lot of people's eyes. as well.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely led me to meet some like crazy people, and like the people I managed to get on were insane. Like even for the time, like Shy Lily, Buff Pup, like those massive figures in the community were on my silly little song. So it's like,
and I kind of feel a bit what you're talking about right now by just having you accept to do this interview. Because I threw my shot out there to as many people as possible.
No,
I'm like, I hope one of us I hope Conquest says yes.
Yeah, you gotta do it. You gotta do it. I say that's what it was like. I just threw out emails. I threw out Twitter DMs. Like, you just have to do it. Like, that's the only way to like. And I'm in the same. Like, people really appreciate it. Like, there were people that were like very excited to be on that project that I didn't think were, or like would be, because I thought this would be like they're under them sort of oh, this isn't going to be something they're interested in, but I'll give it a go. But no, they were like really excited and were like, oh my god, thank you for asking me. And I'm like, well, thank you for saying yes. Like, what are you talking
That's
about?
what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
Yes, I completely connect with that.
Yeah.
What's your favorite like American food, like that you can't have in the UK?
Favorite American food that I can't have in the UK? I mean, we don't have great like brisket stuff, like proper like slow cooked like beef and
Like
stuff
8
like
hours
that.
of
Yeah, like 48 hours under the grill, like that sort of stuff. Like, I can only like it's a different experience having that kind of stuff here.
So that's what you would pick?
Yeah, I would probably feel like slow beef brisket.
Okay.
For sure.
No. That's actually, I thought you'd say something like pretty generic. A lot of people that visit will say like burgers or something.
I can't stand burgers here. They're greasy as shit.
Yeah.
I hope I can swear as well.
No, you can swear as much as you want.
Yeah, no, I pace myself in America because like one meal is like two for me.
Yeah.
Like,
We basically drove here all the way from Toronto.
yeah.
So I'm filming like a bit of a road trip video as well
Yeah.
on the side. And at every pit stop, it's like Wendy's, Arby's, McDonald's. And I was just looking at that, I'm like, there's no other option.
No,
and it feels
that's
like
on tour food. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I've
But
been
like
there.
it's nice every now and then.
Yeah.
Just to like bathe in the sorrow and disgust of the oil.
Yeah, it
It
gets
kinda
you.
feels-
You feel it on your skin. Like,
Or you're sweating, you're like, I
Yeah.
smell like the burger.
it's crazy.
But along those lines, actually, if you had to pick one food that just describes who you are as a person, not even artist, just overall as a person.
Maybe like a tiramisu.
Tiramisu, okay.
Yeah.
So you got some layers, but
I
you're
got some
still
layers,
smooth.
well smooth, and coffee, energetic. You know, it'll give you that little buzz.
Oh yeah, I
You
didn't
know,
even think of that.
I'm sweet.
See,
Yeah.
that's why he's the rapper. He has the bars ready, just off top.
That was a tiramisu is banging. So
Yeah. No, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a definitely good one because you had a lot of reasons and like every ingredient of that he
it was
he
like
can
I
relate to
practiced
it.
it. It was like I practiced it.
It's our second take of this interview. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So your mom has Mama Quest has commented on a few of my reactions to
Yep.
your music.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of what I do when I break down music personally is pull from my own memories of like maybe mainstream music or
Yeah.
something I've heard before, and I kind of relate it to how something you would do sounds,
Yeah.
right? Or any artist, because to me that's where like my core childhood memories are at.
Yeah.
And when you can pull from that, it like just emotionally it just hooks me onto a song.
Yeah.
Basically. And confirmed by Mama Quest, she said she really enjoyed playing Linkin Park and Eminem when she was younger
Yeah.
too with you. Would you say that those are your inspirations or still your inspirations, or do you have, other artists you look up to? Like, how do you draw?
Yeah, I would
From-
say Linkin Park for sure in terms of the melodic stuff. Like I didn't listen to much Linkin Park back in the day. I listened to it through people a lot of the times because I wasn't massively into music when I was a kid. But my parents were, my dad especially. Like my dad would just always have music on in the car. And like I remember a lot of like the old stuff that he would used to play. And then my mum, obviously, with the Eminem and the Linkin
Yes,
Park,
yes.
and that obviously was like ingrained in me very, very young. But yeah, it probably wasn't until I was like 14, 15 that I really got into like Eminem and rap particularly. It was probably around Recovery, like that being out for a few years, that I really, really got into it. And then other places, a lot of like YouTube rap stuff, like because obviously I was coming up on YouTube, like because I was following it basically from 2008 from when it released, like
Okay,
basically
okay,
on
so-
it. And
so
then
that's-
once the YouTube rap like started to hit and stuff, that's when I was like kind of ingrained in it a lot, and then learned about Dan Bull. And then that was like sort of the
Huge.
introduction into nerdcore. Like that's obviously that's like one for all of us nearly. Like I don't think there's a
Dan
single
Bull.
person that like hasn't been listening to Dan Bull for years. Then like Tech Nine was a massive one. Strange Music, Hopsin back in the day as well.
I can see that. No, I see
Yeah,
the inspiration
yeah.
because
a lot of people that really focused on multisyllabics, a lot of people that focused on rhyme, and that was just what interested me so much about rap generally and like lyrical ability. Also, a lot of UK battle rap
Okay.
is super lyric and multi-heavy, and I listen to a crap ton of that as well.
I've never actually looked into
UK battle rap is fantastic, really good.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think I should look that up because, I mean, the thing about me with reactions now that I have a channel is sometimes I'll be like, I'll save that for the reaction, and then
Yeah.
I just won't do the reaction, and then it's 2 years later, I'm like, I should just listen to this.
Yeah. If you got people like Shotty Horror, Shuffle T, Tony D, Frankie Fraser, Deep Cut, Villain, Unanimous. Unanimous is crazy, honestly. He was one of my favorite. It was a little bit goofy sometimes, but he was one of my favorite back in the day. I'll be real.
Yeah, the thing about you that for me impresses me the most when I listen to your music
Yeah.
is how insanely like dense it is, right?
Yeah.
Like so for example, I know you're friends with Strawberry and you live with them, right?
Yeah.
When I listen to Strawberry, that's why I'm gonna relate it to Strawberry. Like I feel like what he'll do is wind up like a good moment
Yeah.
and like build towards it, but then hit you like really hard at some point
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
die down and do that again.
Yeah.
Whereas with you, it's like rapid and it's like so many
It's just
things.
all compact to like straight. Yeah.
It's like so dense and layered that I need to listen to this thing like 4 times to catch all the rhymes, the
Yeah.
bars, the doubles. I never catch most of
mean-
the doubles on the first listen. I'm not even gonna lie.
It's good to have the dynamics, like having like a build-up punch and stuff. And like sometimes I like to do that, but generally, yeah, because I'm so like ingrained of just like really working on something until I feel like it's a perfect like lyric or bar. Like I just sort of keep going over it until that happens. Sometimes it comes out like a sneeze. Sometimes it takes like a long time. Like the Buddha song, I probably was writing that for like 6 months,
Wow.
and then
You were just like working out
piece
every
by
chord.
piece by piece, yeah, like line by line,
That's
just sort
insane.
of working. I had like one like paragraph like done, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna.
That's funny.
Oh wait, no worries. It's like I'm basically gonna chip away at this because I don't want to rush things, like for sure. And then you have songs like Lucifer that I write in a night, you know?
No way.
Yeah,
In a
Morning Sun,
night?
I wrote that night because I was like, I need to get this out. Like, I need to get this done. And it was like that sort of like
What the hell?
last
You're a
homework
monster.
deadline. Yeah, I was like, I'll write this all tonight, and then I did. And then it was like, okay, there. Now it's good.
Nice.
But that's the problem is I do things like that. But
Yeah.
I have this like mental standard for myself, so I still need to make it really good, and that's
Yeah.
what makes it really difficult. So crunch time is crazy crunch time.
Do you ever feel bad then if like you'll write something in a few days and then you put it out and like 3 weeks later you're like, I could have tweaked that? Like, do you overthink that part?
I've definitely had stuff before where I've been like, I could have said this or I should have said this. Like, I could have changed this and rhymed it better. Is one that I get a lot. Yeah, that's one I get a lot. Is I could have rhymed it better.
One thing that I found very interesting, I watched some of your interview with Dean. Shout
Yeah.
out to Dean, by the way. And you said you don't consider yourself a musician, but a YouTuber who makes music.
Yeah.
Could you explain that? Because that one hit me deep. I was like, wow.
Yeah, I mean, there's an old like quote that I've sort of turned myself. It's I'm not a musician. I'm a creator whose creation is music, like, or a YouTuber whose content is music. And I feel like that just fits me better because I never wanted to be a musician. That wasn't a dream I had growing up. I had no formal music experience. Like I played a little bit of guitar, but I was never that interested in it. What I wanted to be since I was like 12 was a YouTuber.
Same.
Like, and this was just the sort of way that I got into it.
Yeah.
And like I love making music. Like don't get me wrong, like it's fantastic. It's what I'm good at. But I've used that as the catalyst to become a YouTuber. Like that was
Like the
that was
fuel.
always it was the fuel. It was what I could do. It's what I'm good at. Like I genuinely I'm not good at much else. Like I've just found.
Are
the
you
thing
sure
I'm good
about
at.
that then?
Yes,
I don't think
I'm
you
sure.
tried
I'm sure
it.
because I've had every YouTube channel under the sun. Like I had an animation channel. I had a gaming channel. I had a vlog channel. Like I was trying so many different things on YouTube, and then as soon as I like found that I could write and like I was okay at it and I
Okay.
enjoyed it,
But
that's what I pushed for.
But what if you tried something else after that and it worked better? Do you ever think of that? I overthink a lot of stuff, so that's why that's like my...
I feel like I have. I feel like I've never stopped wanting to do other
Okay.
things because this is my job now. Like
Yeah.
I need hobbies again. You know what I mean? Like
Okay,
this,
so that's
this
when you
was
work on those.
That's when I do like the podcast or like the game shows that I do sometimes with Schwab. Like we like to just try and do other things, almost just to occupy ourselves. Like because we know it's not gonna explode and do it well, but we want to do it because it's really fun.
And it gets like your creative juices working in another aspect, and maybe it can inspire you for your music later on too.
And that's why I really want to start doing a lot more streaming as well, and like maybe trying to cross over into the VTuber world and do more stuff like that. But I really think it's important to keep that creative aspect not just in what you now do for work, you know? And obviously I'm very lucky to be in the position where a hobby has become my work, but I still have to treat it as work now. Like, you know, you still have to take it as seriously as you would any other job.
That just reminds me of, I think there was this mathematician or something that said he would use a lot of his free time learning other skills, and he felt like just stepping away and concentrating on something else would replenish him when he did his like main thing. But I know I said one last question, but
oh no, go for it.
One last question, one more time. Let's go with this. Do you think there are more tires or doors in the world?
It
doesn't have to be car tires. You could also argue that we're talking about bicycles.
Yeah, no, it's got to be tires, right?
That's what I was thinking.
It's got to be tire because, like, if you think for every house, oh wait, the insides of houses,
they have multiple doors.
Multiple doors.
Yeah, that's the layering of that one. As a guy who's very smart at just thinking things through, I thought that would be the one to ask.
I'm gonna say doors. I think it's doors.
Okay, someone fact checked it. I did not check either, so we're gonna find out.
Okay.
But
yeah, I think it's doors. And no, it can't be tires. There's no way it's tires, because think of how many people don't own cars but do own houses. No one owns a car but doesn't own like somewhere with a door. And even then, they have two doors. Or four doors, which is the same as the tires, which cancels them out. So it's just zero.
He's cooking right
If you own a car, and you don't own a house, you have 0, 0. You have nothing.
That's facts. That's actually facts. Thank you. I don't want to take up more of your time. He performed at NPC.
Been a pleasure.
Are you gonna be here next year? Do you know?
Probably gonna be here next year. Yeah.
So if you guys want to check him out, check any music you want to shout out, new stuff or projects. Or
I've probably tomorrow just released, whenever you're seeing this, Stars of Hazbin EP, which is all 3 of my Hazbin Hotel songs in one little fun place for you with a nice little album cover. And that's going to be on Spotify.
Check it out. Thank you again, man.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All right. That was sick.